Hi, Patrick here, Half Cheetah Will View, and we are marching along here on our 52 books in 52 weeks. Um, I just finished doing the letters to my cat, and so I thought, okay, um, I'll go back to reading an action book, something I wanted to read, and I actually thought this was going to take me a little while to go through, it being a hardback and whatnot. But I got into it because I really, really wanted to read it pretty bad. So I did. And so we entered the world of The Investigator by John Sandford. John Sandford, as you know, is the creator of the Prey novels with Lucas Davenport. The kid novels, there's four of those, including the Dead Man's Song or the Hangman's Song, and also he did the Virgil Flowers series, and then he started a new series with Lucas's daughter, Letty, and the first one in the series is The Investigator. Man, I was a little pessimistic going into this one. I got to be honest with you because the last couple of Prey books have not been his best. They've been sort of like a lot of running around. Not it's entertaining, but it's running around. There's no really plot or anything. It's just you're going from point A to point B, and it's like it's okay, but you want some action to happen. And well, I will say that this sort of has the elements to it. The Investigator. I thought it was a very good debut book for the character of Letty Davenport, which includes her backstory, which we read about when Letty made her first appearance. Her backstory was that Lucas was trying to break up a criminal ring, and it was there was a corrupt cop involved in it, and he was killing a lot of people, and including he was chasing down Letty and her mother, and Letty shot the evil cop, helped killed him actually, but unfortunately her mother was killed in the battle. And Lucas and his wife Weather decided to take Letty on as a ward, and then they later adopted her. And it turns out that Letty is a very, very sharp young lady and got herself a full ride to Stanford, where she majors in economics. And so this book opens up, we see her at 24 years old, and she is in Washington, D.C., and she's working for a congressman, Congressman Coles, who we actually met as well. We met him as well in Twisted Prey. Um, and that was a very good book as well. And so the story has Letty and her Department of Homeland Security, sort of like an escort. They're a team. A gentleman named John Kaiser, who's sort of like almost like a little older version of a Lucas. Um, and he's very sharp. He's a great shot. He's hardworking, and he likes him and Letty. They definitely hit it off really well. Now, I will say this: do not get comfortable with any character that surrounds our main hero. Do not get comfortable with that because John has a way of killing those people off. And if anybody has read any of the Prey books, they know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of good people and a lot of great characters in the books that suddenly find themselves out of the books. Um, so what happens is that there's a group of militia down in Texas that are stealing oil, and they're selling the oil back to the oil companies. They're skimming it and selling it back, and so it's not too much, but it's enough to cause a little bit of attention. And they're using the money that they're selling the oil for, and they're funneling it over to the different militias. And the plot is that this group is going to go down to a crossing, and they're going to take over the town and deny the crossing of this caravan coming up from Mexico. but things go horribly wrong. Um, People start dying. Letty and John Kaiser, they are bounced all over Texas trying to chase the tail to figure out what's going on. The group is led by a woman named J.L. Hawks. Um, and I like the character. I mean, I don't. I mean, but I wish this is the part of for this book that I did find a little bit disconcerting is he did not spend enough time developing the bad guys. Too much time was spent racing around Texas, and not very much with the bad guys. A book like this, you got to be able to see what the other side is thinking, and it was sort of simplistic in that way. You know, very very simplistic. And I just wish for a book that this size and introducing such a great character. It's hard for me I got to remember this. I got to remember this is that John Sandford is now 80 years old. So a lot of this is probably a bit of a struggle for him. I mean, the books are still good, but they're just not as good as they used to be. This is a fine first edition. This is our first series. I mean, this is fine. Um, and I don't know if John's gonna ever like with Lee Childs or James Patterson or some other great writers that continue on. Personally, I think there could be a co-writer here to help John with the series. It's so well established. A good writer would not have to struggle too hard to get into the formula of it and to improve it, bring it back to where it once was, back in the heyday. The Prey novels back in their heyday were just absolutely amazing books. This is still a good book. Would I have paid money for a hardback for this? No. No. I definitely would have waited for a paperback. Um, yeah, no, I would not have bought, and I would not recommend running out there, even though it was a bestseller. I mean, it did well. It did really well. And you might get a week or two on top, but overall, this is not one of the stronger of the books. It's a good book, but it's not what I've come to expect from John Sandford. Um, I know that there's the second book is already out called Dark Angel, which I am looking for right now. I'm hoping that it's an improvement. Um, I know I feel really bad. I feel really bad saying this because this doesn't feel right, but it's the truth. And I do think that I can understand why some writers go to younger writers as they get older. Clive Cussler did it. Like I said, James Patterson has done it. There's other writers out there that have welcomed on younger writers to help them. Lee Childs for the Jack Reacher book. His brother helps write the new books now. And I don't know how that works out because I have not read any of the new Reacher books that his brother has helped out. So I'm not sure how that works. I do know that the TV series is kick ass. Um, I would love to see. I would like to see. I mean, now that I know that they're going to be doing this for the Myron Bolitar series by Harlan Coben, I would love to see someone like Apple TV or an Amazon sink his teeth into the Lucas Davenport books. That would be very exciting. I think it would make a great TV series, tremendous TV series. There's been two movies made out of John Sandford books, two Lucas Davenport. One of them had him portrayed as an African American, and that was by Eric LaSalle. I want to see that. I'm tracking that down. If I can find that, I want to see that. And of course, Mark Harmon played the character with the when he's going against Clara Rinker. Um, but I really, this did fly. I finished this in 2 days. It's 392 pages long. I finished it in 2 days. 200 one day, 192 the second day. So it was a very fast read for me because I was really amped up for it. I'm just saying, though, at the end of the day, after I read about it and thought about it and stewed upon it, I just wish that there had been more character development on the other side and a little less chasing around, a little bit more action. It built up to a nice crescendo and then nothing. It is open ended. I will say that without spoiling it. It's open ended, so take with that as you will. Um, Good book. Recommend it. Yes, recommend it as hardback at $30 a pop. No, no. I got my copy for $1 at the library. I got my copy for $1. Um, yeah, but if you want to get a paperback, I highly recommend that. All right, that is book 5 out of 52. This series was inspired by our friend Allie Eisman. That's 5 now, Allie. I'm going to do this. I picked up some new books, which you can check out at my library haul. I picked up 3 new books, 3 nonfiction books, 3 nonfiction. So we are headed back to nonfiction for the next round. But this is book number 5 of 52. All right. If you read any of the Lucas Davenport series, Virgil Flowers series, kid books, or gotten into the Letty Davenport series, let me know by dropping a comment down below. I'd like to know what your thoughts are about John Sandford's writing. What do you feel about when a hit writer starts to age out as far as writing goes? Are you okay with them bringing in help to them to help them write their series, their characters, or should it just be the author and only the author? I'd like to know that too. I personally feel it's okay for them to bring in somebody. I personally do. If they still feel like writing, I think they should collaborate. I do. All right, that's it for this. If you're new to my channel, please consider giving us a sub. And we will see you for the next one, which I don't know what it's going to be yet. I think it's going to be a private war. But I won't know until I sit down and start crack open the books. All right, thanks for watching, and we will talk at you soon.